It is the day of the end of day 3. So treatment was same time, same place, same sort of format. And at our morning, we talked about 2 truths and a lie. And I always like that exercise because I think I'm pretty good at it. And it's easy enough to tell a lot of times with other people because they'll change their voice or they'll change the way that they carry their face or things like that. And I try to be perceptive in my life. I'm not always, so that's okay. But it's nice to just know that from time to time I can read people and their expressions and what it is they're doing or thinking. And so that part was fun. And then after our break, we had some processing time, and we heard today from somebody that I haven't heard from yet. And it struck me how not excited in a good way, but this time excited in almost like a social justice way, where I heard her say that she was hurt and that she felt bad and that there was a reason for it, and that had to do with her own mental health and stuff like that. And like I said, on the first day, I said a bunch of stuff, and on the second day, I apologized for it. Well, here's the third day, and I've been told, just say what you gotta say. Say whatever you're gonna say. So I thought I read this person enough, or well enough, to be able to speak my mind and to say, you're drinking poison thinking the other person will die or, will feel bad, but really you're the one who's getting sick. And that's not how it should work. But you need to take care of yourself. And we're all in this group to remind each other that our own mental health is way more important than the petty bullshit that we are dealing with outside of these 4 walls. Hey all, it's me, Angela Deeb. Today we're going to keep talking about life, love, and the pursuit of mental health. Welcome to my channel. So if you're ready, grab your coffee and let's get started. But then again, I like being humbled. I really do. I like being humbled by someone who can make a really good point and say, in life, we will always have difficult people to deal with. And we are responsible for ourselves and how we handle ourselves, sure, but it's also important to draw lines and to have firm boundaries so that we're clear about how we want to be treated. And again, that's the part that makes me so angry and so, sad at the same time. It's like we envision the world to be good and believe, because we're taught from kindergarten, that people are good. People are genuinely good, and that's where they're coming from. But when other people are just not in it, not in life or in your life, my life, for the right reasons, and are competitive or are toxic or just not cool, man. We gotta find a way to deal with it. We gotta find a way for us not to get hurt in order to be heard or seen or understood. And I don't like the idea of shutting someone out completely, because that doesn't solve anything. And you know, we could like 90% of the room, but that other 10%, you know, how are we going to handle that? So that's something that I'm working on, that I feel like today in my group, that was an important piece of our dialogue with each other. But then also trying to understand boundaries within the group as well. And I said this yesterday, that I really don't want to rub people the wrong way, but I'm starting to feel like it might be my role. It's okay for me to be the devil's advocate and to say, listen, people who are hurtful and mean and throwing shade are the people who are lonely and don't have friends and are preoccupied by their thoughts of competition and their own stuff. So what I'm trying to say is that kindness piece, that thing that we were taught when we were kids, is that people are genuinely kind. And when we believe that, and when we internalize that, and when we understand that, and when we learn how to process our anger and our impatience and frustration and stuff like that, we can't necessarily control other people. So the part that we can control, and the part that we have to remember, is that everybody's going through something. Everybody has a past, and everybody has a different experience, and that's what makes life so interesting, or so fucked up, or whatever. But these are important pieces of information to remember, is that everybody has their own perspective, and there really isn't going to be a better way to deal with people until you figure out a better way to deal with people. You know? I think there's a saying, it's a Maya Angelou saying, about when you know better, do better. And I completely agree with that. I may not know how to handle it right now, but in the future, when I obtain those coping skills and learn how to deal with people that I don't get along with, I'm going to work with what I have. And what I have is to flip the script, turn the story of that person, instead of believing that that person is internally evil and just bad. Again, remember that that person is probably very lonely and probably sick in some way. And I do get really sick of being the bigger person, but then I remember that I have so much to be grateful for. And whatever the haters are saying, whoever's throwing shade, they're not worth it. And even if they are, and we have this conversation with somebody who's a jerk, we have to remember that that is not more important than me. That conflict, that comparing, that jealousy, that shade, none of that is as important as my mental health, as your mental health, as learning and forgiving, which again, I don't have that skill yet, but I'm learning, and I'm okay with that. That part is, knowing what I need to work on is, of course, half the battle. But anyway, so day 3, for the most part, went pretty well. And thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.